Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello? All right. Thank you for that. So who is online? Who else is online? I'm seeing only one person. Where are the rest? Let's start. It's 8 o'clock on the dot. Who is online? Let us start. It's 8 o'clock on the dot. Let me see your like. Let me see your love. Okay. I can see, who is that? Emmanuel. Okay. Who else is live? Today is ladies let's talk, but you can invite the guys. It's for everybody. But today we're exploring this aspect of a woman's life. Okay. All right. I can see you, Uche. You are online. Okay. All right. I can see Raj. Hello. Thank you for joining. Okay. I'm with you. I agree with you. Everybody needs this talk. Yeah. Okay. Without much ado, let us start. Okay, today is Ladies Let's Talk. We have a lot of things in our minds that we want to share. And let's do this. Let's start. So the reason we are having this discussion this night at this hour is because if you pay attention to the society and you pay attention to social media, you see that we need to talk. There are some things, some issues we need to address, not just on general basis. We need to address women. We need to address men too. But for this night, we're focusing on women. But if you have a sister and she needs to hear this, go ahead, invite her. But if you want to stay here, you can stay there. I promise you there is one or two things you're going to pick up from this. So ladies, let's really have this discussion. And while we are talking, anything, any question you have, you can put it down. We have time for questions and answer. I don't want you to mix it up because I may not see it or the chats may go up so much and I'll miss it. So any question you have, put it down. I will address every question. Okay? So my name is Candid. My name is Candid Jessie. And tonight, I'll be your host for Ladies Let's Talk, the first edition. Of course, you expect this to come up more. Okay, so for tonight, I am your host. I am Candid Jessie. So the first thing I want to talk about tonight, before we go through any other thing we want to say, is the young lady's mind. Hello, ladies. Any young lady who has grown to an extent or who has once been an adolescent or maybe a young adult will believe me, will agree with me today that there are struggles we go through that are real, especially the struggle of the mind. So this topic, this particular first topic I'm dealing with this night that I call the young lady's mind. I have some points I wrote down here that I don't want to miss. No matter what I say, I want to say this to you, okay? I'm actually teaching. Yes, Rosalind, that's true. I'm actually teaching, okay? I love teaching. So I have my notes and I'm going to share them with you. So as a young woman, I said, your life is already complicated. There's a lot going through your mind. Let me start from the real struggle we have, especially as Africans, is that thing of being married, right? You're thinking about it, and even when you're not thinking about it, something the society is reminding you of it, they're telling you about it. So, first things first, your your first experience in that your young mind may be how to be a perfect girlfriend, right? Then there may be other conflicting aspects that will come to be, and that's your career goals, maybe the journey to being recognized as a woman of substance, or it may be a struggle to be a wife. Yeah, there are persons who married so early, and you may be floating between trying to achieve your goals, trying to be a wife, a mother, good girlfriend, whatever it is. But I'm going to take them one by one. It matters what your outlook is in life. It matters what your priority is. It matters what matters to you first. Remember, I said first things first. I don't think as a young woman, the first thing that should bother you is to be a perfect girlfriend or to please a boy or a man. I think you should find yourself. That journey you go through to understand why you're here, what on earth you're here for should be the first things. And that's why I would say if you're a parent here, you have a job to do. If you're yet to be a parent, don't let your children struggle with what you struggled with. So that thing you learned late, teach your children early. The first struggle of your young girl child is not, first of all, to be a perfect girlfriend. No, that's not what it should be. It should be to discover who she is, what she's here for, and the things she has to get her hands busy with. I tell you the truth. There are questions in my head when it comes to this women thing. And that is the percentage of women out there who will hear their name compared to the percentage of men, and then compared to the population of men and women. I have a question in my heart. Does it mean that women who were born in those days and the one that are still born, maybe are aged maybe 40, 50, is it that they didn't have a purpose? It's just a few that are in the field repping this gender. Is it that they didn't have a purpose? But I've come to realize they have a purpose. It's just that it wasn't channeled properly. And some of them lost that purpose in the quest to be married, to be a good girlfriend. Some lost their purpose because of a wanted pregnancy. If you can still hear me, let me see your wave. Okay, so some persons lost it because of distractions that came with maybe societal pressure and whatnot. So I'll first of all say their purpose as a woman, that thing going on in your mind, first of all, is not to be a perfect girlfriend. No. It's not to be a perfect girlfriend. And I don't even think the first thing you should think about is to be a wife. I think you should find yourself. Haven't you wondered that most times you'll see a girl that is promising, that has something if you leave this girl, she's going to make a whole lot of waves. She's going to send tremors to the earth. And then you're looking for her in the universe. You can find her anyways until she just disappeared. And maybe after some years, you find out that a man happened, marriage happened, kids happened. So I always say that the reason why this happens is because if you are grounded in what you are doing, once that habit is formed, a purposeful habit is formed, even when you're married, it can only be paused to some extent because of the sacrifices that come with marriage. Or it may actually lag a little bit, but not totally disappearing. Especially when you marry a man who appreciates your purpose, who is there not just for what he will take, but for what he will help you achieve. A man who will help you to become better, become good at what you are. Because The best improvement you ever have in life is improving on who you were yesterday. So, talking about the young lady's mind, before you prepare to invite other people into your space, have you prepared the space for whoever is coming in? If you don't know where you're going to, everywhere will look like it. Have you defined your journey? Have you defined your purpose? What are you here for? What are those struggles in your mind? Have you addressed them? If you have addressed these questions in your mind, it's going to take a journey. It's not something that happens once and for all. You evolve. Even the time you became a teenager, to the time you became an adolescent, and became a young adult, and to the time you became a young mother or wife or whatever you find out that you keep evolving. You're going to keep evolving. So it's important that in that evolution that is happening, you are not losing yourself in it, and you're not losing the reason why you are here in it. Because even if you run into marriage or pleasing someone, the truth is that it matters when some burdens will be laid on what you have worked on. So let me buttress it again. Find priority. Prioritize your life. Focus on what needs to be focused on first and first. Define your journey. Find yourself before you find a man, or before a man finds you. That struggle of finding balance between these two things, I think the first that should come in mind is finding you. So when you find you, it depends on whatever comes later, but I think before you become a mother, you should be a wife. That's my opinion about the young lady's mind. I know there are more to say. If there is something in your mind you need me to address on this matter and I have not said it, please hold that question down. You will ask during the question and answer session. I don't want this webinar to be too long, okay? So the next thing I'm going to talk about is navigating puberty. I don't know whether there are adolescents or teenagers in our midst, but even if they come across this later, it will make sense to them. So I think I have to say this, that puberty is a natural process. It's something natural. It's not something that is strange. You may be wondering why I chose to put puberty in this event, because I have seen that most times when you struggle with identities when you're a teenager. True or true? Did you go through that? Let me see you say something to me. When you struggle with identity is when you're a teenager, when you're going through puberty. And it's always easy for the society to tell you what you're not. Okay, if you look at the society today, you find out that is rampant to see transgender as teenagers, because one, they don't understand what's going on in their bodies. The hormones are playing hanky-panky on them. The hormones are doing a lot of things that your body does not understand. Your one smooth face is going to have pimples, even the big ones that we call those days iron pimples. Your once flat chest is beginning to bulge. Your body is changing, and the society is putting pressure on you to define who you are. And that's why you go to TikTok today, you see a lot of teenagers shaking their bum because they think who they are is what the society says they are. And it's that point that you will see some of them speak to some adults by telling them, I don't know what's going on with me. I think I'm a boy. I think I'm a girl. That's gender fluidity, That time you're just trying to define who you are. You've not really understood yourself. And then someone who has an evil agenda will tell you, okay, you were meant to be a girl, you're meant to be a boy, or maybe you were meant to be a boy. I think you should be a girl. You're a girl trapped in the body. Those things they say, all those what do you call it? Gimmicks they play with your mind. And you believe that I think I should change. And then when you begin to grow more, you find out that you did your body a disservice. You find out that you are deceived. You find out that it's difficult to retransition. So I think it's okay for us to talk about puberty puberty is normal. It is normal. It's a normal process that you go through to become an adult. Both the male and female go through it. And it's not the time for you to move to another gender and then call yourself whatever it is you call yourself and expect everybody to understand that. People like us that understand that gender is male and female won't understand that. And why will someone even go to the extent of deceiving a young mind to believe that the gender they have or assigned at birth, like they say, is not who you truly are? Why not just give them time to figure out who they are instead of deceiving them to become who they are not? There's something I wrote here that I want to read to you. I said, do not let the society or the craziness of this world derail this beautiful metamorphosis that your body is going through. Change is the only thing constant, and change can sometimes take a toll on you. That's the truth. There's no need of lying. When you're going through change, even if it's with your academics, if it's your career or anything, when you're going to upgrade to something, Rosalind, you are here, you're a makeup artist, you know what I'm saying. Where you are and you are trying to upgrade, that's changing, that breaking point for you is not an easy place to be. True or false? If any of you have gone through change, you know what I'm saying. That time you are breaking ground from this place to this place is not easy. Okay, let's bring it down. When you finish secondary school and you're about to enter into university, that's the transition moment. Okay, let me still put it. When you go to the higher institution, you found out that it took some time for you to adjust into this new place. True or false? It took time. It's not something that just happens. So why will someone come at that point and tell you you're not supposed to be in the university? You go back to primary school. That's an error. So I say change can sometimes take a toll, but the end mostly is beautiful if you don't negatively interrupt the process. Just because you don't understand it doesn't make it wrong. Don't let anybody lie to you. Your body is going through a change that you look at tomorrow and be proud of. You will be grateful you allowed your body to go through that change. Let me still say this, that sometimes the best thing for you to do is to do nothing. Do not interrupt what is still taking its time. When the butterfly is moving from the larva to the pupa before it goes to the adult stage, do you know that if you interrupt that pupa stage when it's like a cocoon, you will interrupt a beautiful butterfly that's about to come out? That's what happens to your body during puberty. Do not let anybody lie to you, and do not let anybody alter the beauty that is coming out of you. Okay? Those changes your body is going through is for the best. Do not tamper with your body. You may regret it. You may regret it later. Okay, the next topic this night is managing feelings. Like you saw on the flyer, managing feelings. Woman, your life is already complicated. You have a lot of complexities. Your feelings can be a roller coaster sometimes. And I bet you it can make or mar you. If you are given to mood swings, you may end up destroying meaningful relationships. If you are given to taking it the way it comes to you, you will be given to messing things up. Have you ever found yourself in a place where you, like, I'm not talking about the physical location now, I'm talking about maybe emotional location, where you say things you're not supposed to say, and the person reacts and you felt, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Have you ever been there? Like you quickly reacted to things because of your emotions, your moods. Or maybe there is an important thing that is going on in your life, or there is an important meeting. And just because you felt something, you just ruined the whole thing. Have you ever been there? So this night, I'm going to teach you about managing your feelings. As a woman, we go through a lot of roller coasters as far as feeling is concerned. Talk about how you feel when you're flowing. During your menstrual flow is another thing. I know. I understand that. And then apart from your menstrual flow, sometimes is your ovulation. Your body is trying to, okay, let's be practical here. Sometimes it's so annoying. Do you get? Sometimes it's so annoying that, okay, you feel you have mastered a particular emotion, and then the next month, another one is coming. Let's be practical. Do you get? This is month of April, and you're about to see your period. The feelings and whatever happened to your body in March is not the same thing happening now. It's a different thing altogether. Do I have a witness in the house? And then you're so cranky. You are so angry. You want to munch everybody that comes around you. You are yelling. Even you, if someone by the side asks you what's going on, you self, you don't understand what's going on. True or false? So this night, I want to tell you something. That aside relationships, which we will still talk about, is it that relationship feeling? No, we'll talk about, let me finish this one first. We will talk about that feeling, relationship, butterflies in your belly, okay? But this particular one of managing your feelings, if you can learn to hold it in and let things resolve by themselves, just like I said earlier, there are sometimes the only thing you need to do is to do nothing. That sometimes what you need is to walk away. Sometimes what you need is to just sit it out. Do you understand? Sometimes your body is going through some volcanoes. Let me tell you one practical step. Identify that feeling. What is that feeling? Well, that's one. Give it a name. Like, I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling scared. I am angry. Okay? And when you name that feeling, the next thing you should do is to learn how to handle it. Do you understand? When you name the feeling, the next thing you should do is learn to handle that feeling. If you don't learn to handle that feeling, you will mess things up. When you're angry, what's the best thing to do? We have heard it so many times. Be angry, but do not say a word, sit it out. That doesn't mean there are some issues that will come up and you wouldn't need to address it at the nick of time. Yeah, there are. But sometimes when it becomes, how do I say it? When it becomes an uproar, then you should watch it. Okay? What do you feel? How do you feel? Then you need to address these things. If you can give it a name, that's number one. Two, identify what triggers it. What's that thing that happens and you start feeling that way? When you identify whatever triggers it, you have started your journey to dealing with it. Okay? If you find what triggers it, even if it's people, if it's things, or what you eat, that sometimes something you eat can upset you, right? You know that one, right? Okay. If you can address it, you prepare your mind for the challenge, okay? Maybe there's a family member that you cannot avoid that gets you angry. I'm being practical. We always have that family member that is very annoying. That's the truth. So let me use that as an example. You get to that point and you know that it seems you can't really avoid this person. This person has become a part of your life and angers you. Okay? What do? Find a way, because it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of solution that I'm giving you this night. No. What I'm saying this night is that your feelings are valid, but it's not always best to suppress it, but it's okay to handle it. Okay? If you need to avoid that person, fine. If you need to address it in writing, it's fine. For me, I think the best way to address feelings for me or anger is to write it down. What I mean is, sometimes I keep a journal We are events. Who is still here with me? Can I see you on the comment section? Sometimes I keep a journal where events, like say it. I may be crying while I'm writing it, but I'm going to write it. And after that, yeah, after I finish writing, most times that emotion suppresses to a great extent. Okay? That emotion is suppressed to a great extent. And at that point, I may sit through it. I can, at that point, I will say I can sit down on the volcano. As it's erupting, I won't move because I've addressed it sometimes. So, first, your feelings are valid. 2, name the feeling. 3, identify the trigger. 4, find a way to deal with that trigger. If it means walking away, if it means talking about it, if it means avoiding that food that upsets you, that way you have started healing. And that way you have started managing your emotions, your feelings. Find a better outlet. If you're feeling frustrated, I think you should maybe have an outdoor game. Go outside there. Do you understand? Okay, let me say this. Maybe in the workplace, there's a task you're supposed to accomplish that is giving you a headache. And then you find out that you're at a spot and you begin to feel frustrated. For me, what I do is I keep that work down. I may take a walk. I may play music. But what works for me is outdoor. Just get out. You find out that maybe you are playing or you're taking a walk. The inspiration to fix that thing comes back. That feeling of anxiety you are having will be dead. Do I have a witness? Sometimes what is making you cranky is because you did not sleep well. I know there are many motivational speakers that have told us, don't sleep out your life. You sleep how many hours a day? You must have slept 5 years of your life. But from experience, I can tell you for free that if you don't sleep well, your day is going to be messed up. And you'll be cranky. If you don't have enough night sleep, you will mess up your day. Have you been there? Let me see your hand. Sometimes the only reason you are angry is because you're hungry. The power of food. Okay? I have a sibling that says no matter what you're going through in life, eat first. And that thing can never be, and it's true. No matter what you're going through, just eat. You find out that you can think well, you can process your thoughts well. Okay? Sometimes you can enjoy you can just engage in activities you enjoy. Yeah, feelings are bad leaders. Thank you, Emmanuel. Feelings are bad leaders. They will lead you astray. That's the truth. So identify what's causing that feeling, what's making you behave the way you are doing right now, and fix it. And I promise you, once you fix it, you'll be fine. But please don't forget the part of eating. Eat. Eat may be the only thing that is doing you this thing. Just eat. Like my Nigerians will say it. Chop first, man must work. Just eat first. When you eat, and then we check. Have you seen someone who is sick? It's part of feeling, right? You feel sick. You see someone who is sick, and then you just serve them food. Once they finish eating, they're fine. The power of food. Food is good. Eat. Make sure you eat. It will help you. Okay. We're going to the next one, which is dating. Okay, before I go to the next one, let me talk about that relationship feeling. Okay, I remember that one of us asked me a question when we started this preparing for this. So let me answer that question. Someone asked about feelings. I hope the person is online. I don't want to call your name, but if when I mentioned the question you asked me, I told you we include it. this conversation is getting hilarious, and I'm enjoying it. So one of us asked a question. How do you feel? Okay, it's a little digression, but I'm going to do that. What do you do about a man that you are led to, and then it's as if you're not feeling something. I think something like that, right? I think it's something like that. You're not feeling like you're not getting this person. And the person asks that question in the spiritual aspect, like if God led you to someone and you find out that you're not flowing with that person, what do you do? Okay, let me address that question. First of all, it might sound controversial, but when you process it, you understand what I'm saying. First of all, God doesn't give you a spouse. God does not give you a spouse. You choose your spouse. Okay? What do I mean by you choose your spouse? Some persons write a list of what they want in a spouse, or is in their head, they have something they look out for in a spouse. Okay? When the person comes, it will be easier for you to identify it. Why I use the word write is because sometimes until you write it down, your brain may not recollect all of it. There are some persons that have retentive memory. Yeah, I'm not disputing that fact, but some persons you need to write down your thoughts, your dreams, your expectations. Don't put unrealistic expectation for nobody. Yeah, but primarily this night I'm addressing ladies. Please, for Jesus' sake and for whatever you worship, in the name of whatever you worship, please do not be unrealistic with your expectations. There are some of young ladies, you hear what they want in a man. The only answer you can give them is take clear and mold the person, because whatever you're even asking for, you are not even ready for. You are not it. You are not that thing you are asking for. So how do you want to have such a perfect person in your life and you're not anywhere near perfection? That's disservice. That's you being unfair. So I would say for any expectation you're giving to the person who wants to marry you or the person you want to accept, make sure you're meeting that expectation too. Make sure you are meeting that expectation too. You can't look for someone who has a master's degree and you have first school living certificate. It can't work. God does not give you a spouse. You choose what you want. And when you see someone who is coming and he feels this person is not, there's no flow, hey, give it a pause, okay? Not every thought says the Lord is thought says the Lord. Sometimes you're hearing yourself. Just like I said earlier on, maybe you just need to eat. You're hungry. But once you eat, you may think well, okay? So, first, God is not a killjoy, okay? Okay, the first thing I said is God doesn't give us spouses. The second one is God is not a killjoy. God knows what you want. He knows your desires. He knows what exactly matches you. So if at all you see someone around you who is coming in the name of Jesus, or in the name of whatever that person worships, and you know this is not what you want, it is in your right. It's your right to refuse it. You didn't choose your spouse. I mean, you didn't choose your parents. You didn't choose your siblings. But you have the right to choose who you spend the rest of your life with. You have the right to choose your spouse. You won't blame nobody if you use thus says the Lord to get married to that person and you're seeing hell. Or you get married through deception and then you're seeing hell. You have yourself to blame because you were given the will to choose. I hope I've addressed that matter. So if there is anybody in your life and you feel it's God that led you to this, please go back to that same God that led you to that person and be sure. Okay? Marriage is not a dealing. You should enjoy it. All right. That said, if you still have a question, please write it down. I'll address it. So the next topic is dating. Dating. Most times we have used that word so wrongly. Yeah. Sometimes we've used that word so wrongly that we have abused it. I've heard some school of thoughts that said you shouldn't date before marriage. And some school of thought say you should date before you get married. For me, I would say that dating is a learning experience. For me, dating is like a pool where you meet a lot of people. See, let me put it graphically clear, categorically clear. Ladies, dating season is not the season to, dating season is not a season to test how good that person is in bed. That's wrong. Am I still live? Hello? Am I still live? Dating season is not a season to test your body. Let me show you something from my school of thought. I had to write it down because I love to write. So I said dating season is a learning experience. It's not just about having friends from school or the offices. It's about understanding human behavior. Dating season is when you understand human behavior, gender differences and gender biases. See, you may have gone to all girls school. There are some things you don't understand until you start dating, and then you find out that, okay, you begin to see gender differences. For the lady standpoint now, you begin to understand the male temperament, how a man reacts to things. Okay, me, I had my shockers in my, do you understand? I had my own, okay, for me, I don't see this as anything, and then you are mad, okay. Do you get, you begin to understand what people call respect. What I call respect may be what you don't care about. And what you call respect may be something the person doesn't bother about. Okay, so dating season is an understanding season. So let me still read to you. I said dating helps you to see how people think, react, and interact, which gives you insight into what marriage will look like beyond the romantic and sexual aspect. It will tell you what marriage will look like. I know that in the singles, okay, let me not say singles because even in marriage you should be single. Let me use the word being unmarried. It comes with that thing in your head that once I enter, I'll be having sex day in, day out. That's a lie. Okay? Nobody have sex like that. That's not true. Okay, let me say you people are super with this thing. Highest. Everything gelled inside it 1 hour. You're done. You have 24 hours of the day. What do you do with the rest? That thing you learned through dating, during dating, you will see it. You will understand it. You are going to have your fights. You're going to have your quarrel. You're going to have disagreements. You have to form highs and lows. Okay? That is what you see during dating. But one thing that disrupts dating is sex. When you begin to touch yourselves, when you begin to engage in marital duties, then you forget what you need to understand. Okay? Someone said, when you begin to touch, you stop talking. Okay? When you guys begin to touch yourselves, you no longer talk. And then you find out that everything is about sex. At the end of the day, you have enjoyed yourselves. And then one quarrel, you go your separate ways. And you're carrying pieces of everyone you have slept with and walking around. And the Lord have mercy. You get to see how someone behaves when they feel betrayed, when they feel cheated on, when they're angry or unfulfilled. You see it in dating. Marriage can sometimes create a sense of entitlement. You will see it in dating. Because once this person feels that you are mine, I'm yours, you will see that ownership and sense of entitlement. You're supposed to do this for me just because we're in the relationship. Do you get? So in dating, you begin to see the things you will see in marriage, aside the sex. So I also said where you expect your partner to meet certain needs or do certain things for you, that entitlement, okay, it comes in. Now, dating allows you to observe dynamics without full commitment of marriage. I will explain what I mean here. You will see dynamics without that full commitment of marriage. Why I said that dynamics is, if you're dating Mr. B, I intentionally started with Mr. B, and you find out that what you're seeing there is not what you want to live with in marriage, vamos, leave that place. Dynamics. without marriage commitment. Have you noticed that if you are dating someone and you do not commit your body, it's easier for you to leave? And another thing I've noticed is that when you leave, it's easier for you guys to talk later. When you see yourself tomorrow, you're not feeling somehow, you saw my body, you used me. Do you understand? There is no sexual relationship here. It didn't happen. And then tomorrow you guys part ways. You can still meet yourselves at workplace. You can meet yourselves at offices, in the marketplace. But because you have used sex to wreck this, people can't talk no more. You have seen your nakedness and you're angry about some things. And one thing I found out with it is that once you guys begin to sleep together, the lady becomes entitled to your money and the man becomes entitled to your body. It's a give and take that is so unhealthy. I noticed that when you are dating without that sexual commitment, you find out that whatever you get is a privilege and you will receive it with thanksgiving. If he gives you money, you won't feel entitled, you'll be thankful. If she gives you money, you'll be thankful. They spend time with you, you will show gratitude for it. But when the sex aspect comes in, you find out that you're placing a demand, and the person at that point in time may not want to. Do you understand? So dating is a period to build friendship and understand life dynamics without full commitment of marriage. It's also a chance to reflect on social behavior. You understand what I mean? Social behavior, how people react to things, how people see things, the perspective, socio-cultural landscape, because you may not date someone from your tribe. You begin to see how people's way of life, culture, and everything. You are going to see it. And then during that dating, you make up your mind if you want to be here or not. Okay? So dating is not, it is fixed thing. It's not a nut and bolt, throw away spanner kind of a thing. You are closed up and then they throw away spanner. No, that's not what dating is. Okay? So it is an open-ended stuff. But if you don't like what you're seeing, you can leave. Okay? But one thing I don't really like is that place that is, they say double dating. That word, double dating. Why we find issues with double dating is because you already made a sexual commitment somewhere. So if you are seeing someone else, it's called cheating. Okay? It may sound controversial, but until you are married, nobody owes that your loyalty to stay with this person until it's leading to marriage, until you are sure, until there is a commitment. Okay? Maybe there is a ring in your third finger, or the person have seen your parents, or you've seen the parents, something like that. Okay? You can actually hang out with this person and hang out with this person and check. But when you begin to collect from this person, no. I'm not supposed. I didn't advise you to do that. Please, do not do that. Dating should be a friendship stuff where you understand yourselves. Until dating graduates to courtship, is open-ended. Okay? Okay. There is something I find fascinating, and that's what I'm going to end this particular topic with, is how someone you just met becomes the center of your world. Someone you just met becomes the center of your world. Someone you're still trying to know becomes the center of your world. Dating will help you if you approach it with the right frame of mind. Do not take your heart on a journey without your brain. I'll say it again. Do not take your heart on a journey without your head. Make sure your head agrees. And think it through. Do not suspend your brain because your heart is beating bing, 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 and there are butterflies in your stomach. When that person lands you one slap, that butterfly will die. That's all I have to say here. Okay. The next topic, this dating now leads me to, what if I'm not a virgin no more? Okay. I don't want to really dwell on this particular topic because it's also a controversial topic, but I'm going to say a few things there. Being a virgin is priceless. It's good to keep your body. But if you have lost it for any reason, that doesn't make you a slut. Do you get me? That doesn't make you worthless, because so many people lost their virginity in different ways. There's some persons it was accident. Some persons it was sports. But I am dwelling on the losing of your virginity through sexual activity. That was consensual. The one that was consensual. Two consenting adults. Let's say you made a mistake, but that shouldn't define you. If you broke your pieces, get up from there and move on. It ceases to be a mistake when you're not indulging. And we know that in the society we are in today, if anything happens, the female will be blamed more than the man as far as sex is concerned. True or false? True or false? Now, this leads me to a thought I've had that I want to share. This is my thought, and I want to share it with you. You may want to process it later or now. Okay? I call it the unfair consequences. The unfair consequences. Because we're talking about the area of virginity. Okay. These are the questions I normally ask when I'm talking to young girls that are saying stuff about virginity and everything. I said, if a boy and a girl are caught having sex, who does the society shame? The girl. True or false? Okay. If someone gets pregnant after that sex, who carries the pregnancy? The girl. Because the girl is pregnant, who will drop out of school? The girl. I'm talking about when you're still understanding these relationship dynamics, okay? Because the girl is pregnant, okay, I've talked about that. And after dropping out of school, who becomes a single mother, and often a young mother and a single mother? The girl. If complications arise during pregnancy, whose life is at risk? The girl. If she aborts the baby, whose body is tampered with and may never recover or likely die? The girl. The question I ask, who should be careful? The girl. So if you decide to guard your body jealously with no matter what the society says, hey, you're doing yourself a favor. But I am not here to put any judge on you or anything. If at all something happened and you lost it, find your pieces back. Okay? Let me go through this again. Now, I'm not explaining. I'm going to read it the way I wrote it. Okay? If a boy and a girl are caught having sex, who does the society shame? The girl. If someone's pregnant after sex, who carries the pregnancy alone? The girl. Because the girl is pregnant, who often drops out of school or many careers in life? The girl. After dropping out, who becomes a young mother and often a single mother? The girl. If complications arises during pregnancy, whose life is at risk? The girl. If she aborts the baby whose body is tampered with and may never recover or likely die? The girl. Who should be careful? The girl. Say, your privacy is yours till you choose to give it out. Your body is your privacy. Okay? Let me also say that I do not care what the people say. Your body is your own, and whatever you want to do with it, you understand in the long run that there are deceptions hidden under that thing that will ruin you at the long run. Okay? Haven't you noticed that we've seen this a lot in the society? You'll see a guy sleep with a girl, whether it's consensual sex or whatever happened. When it comes to marriage, he may not want to choose that girl. Why? He'll be looking for the one chassis. And they still tell you virginity is nothing. It's something, my dear. It is. That dignity, that self-worth that comes with it, it is something. That clear conscience, the purity, it is something. But if you have lost it, do not lie where you fell. That's what I'm saying. If that's why I called it, what if I'm no longer a virgin? Because this thing, they've used this to stigmatize so many ladies that they even had to brandish them on the internet, maybe their nudity or whatever it is. Pick your pieces from that place and move on. But then make sure you don't give away your privacy. Okay? Virginity is not overrated. It is priceless. And do not underrate it. Emmanuel, I can see what you say. Virginity is not overrated. Okay, you said some say virginity is overrated. Why is this so? Okay, I think why it is so is because some persons have, okay, let me say this, I'm yet to see someone who is still intact who makes this statement. If you have seen anyone, raise your hand and show me. I am yet to see someone who is still a virgin that says this. It's always coming from people who has chickened out. People have sold their own, or for whatever recklessness, or they were deceived. They want to have more people as, in the cohort. Okay, there's that thing that comes with, okay, I've lost it, I'm looking for a way to get it, so you lose your own. So the thing is overrated. If you have seen anyone who is still a virgin who says this word, talk to me about it. Okay, so there are so many rotten eggs in the society that wants you to be part of it. It is your will to say no. The will is your own, and privacy is yours until you give it out. Okay. All right. Marriage and societal pressure. This one. Okay, I included this topic during the preparation. It wasn't part of the topic, but I think some of you asked a question about this topic, right? Some of you asked a question about this topic. When there's this quest, when there's a quest to get married, like do it quick, do it now. Okay? If you're still with me, let me see you give me a wave. That quest of do it quick, do it now. Okay? Marriage and societal pressure. I will say this, that there is no pressure that should be in getting married. Okay? The reason people are pressurized to get married, or people are pressurized, some persons pressure themselves. Sometimes it's a pressure from the inside. You're the one pressurizing yourself. You're the one that have given yourself time. Once I reach this age and I don't get married, and then you start giving yourself internal heat, and your life is destabilized. And sometimes when you're under that pressure, you end up settling for the wrong person. Let me say it again. When you are under pressure to get married, most times you marry wrong. You settle for the wrong person. I would say patience is the key. Take your time. Social media and comparisons is not doing good to marriage. Some people paint the picture of how they got married or the age they got married. I know sometimes we have seen it online when some persons will tell you, I got married so young, and then you're pressure. Ooh. I remember those times the benchmark began to move. If you're 25, you're not yet married. Hey, they moved it to 30. Ooh, it's as if it's shifting a little bit now. Okay, it's still shifting. So I will say, take your time. Do not settle. Don't condescend. Don't start settling for what you don't want. Be sure your heart is where your head is. Some of you have what you want in your head, but then you feel, time is going on. Are you sure I'll be married? And then you're married. And 1 year down the line, you're shocked. You shocked yourself. Okay. I said something. I said social media can amplify societal pressures by creating unrealistic portrayals of marriage and family life. Even some people that are telling you, I married, and some of them are seeing shege. A lot is happening to them. Some of them didn't even marry right. Some of them are receiving beating per second, but they won't tell you that. That pressure is not necessary. I hope I'm really addressing this matter. That pressure is not necessary. It's crucial for you to remember that online portrayals are often curated, and they don't reflect the complexities of real life relationships. See, marriage is hard work. Marriage is hard work. It takes your time, it takes your energy, commitment. There are sometimes you're not loving that person you said you're in love with. It is the commitment you made that will keep you. Married people can tell. I don't know whether there's anybody married in the comment section. The person will tell you. Okay? Marriage is commitments. It is not that flamboyant destiny. Yeah, there are flamboyant aspects of marriage. I'm not denying that, because you should create something beautiful out of your marriage. Okay, nobody's going to do that for you except the two of you. But then that societal pressure to be among, that societal pressure that makes you think that once I get married, everything is sorted. That's a big, fat, robust lie. That once you're married, everything becomes fine. That's a lie. That's not true. You have to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Okay, so the pressure is not normal. The one advice I will give you is, if you're getting married, make sure you marry someone who is kind. Marry a kind person. Because when you are quarreling and this person is not kind, my God, that's when you see beating. That's when you see someone throwing someone away. That's when you see abuse. And I'm always pitying the children that are born into those homes, because they are the receiving end, because when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. So another reason people are pressured to get married is influence of tradition. Okay, tradition. In this family, we don't get married. We get married at a particular age. In this family, we don't get married from this tribe. In this family, I'm not saying you should throw away your family tradition. I'm saying that tradition shouldn't put you under pressure. And sometimes, tradition is made by man, and it's man who is still online. I hope I'm not talking to myself. Okay? So traditions are made by man, and men will be the ones to counter it. See? Choose your tribe, choose your life. There's something called positive rebellion. Some of you that have seen my video know I talk about this. There's something called positive rebellion. That point you get to that, okay, everybody's doing it in a certain way, but you have chosen your path. Now, like this, I want to run my life. This is how I want to do it. Okay? Just because everybody's doing it. And then what annoys me more is that you see that everybody's doing it and they're not having tangible results. Everybody is crying the same wool. So why should I do it? But even if people are having tangible results, maybe your result is not what I want. So I'm going to say no. You may be called a black sheep, but I think the black sheep is the one who has a mind of his or her own. As far as I'm concerned, the one who has chosen a different path. Be intentional about defining your life and choosing your tribe. Okay? I understand that we have this quote, we say, blood is thicker than water. Do you even know the meaning of that quote? Blood, you can browse this thing when I'm done, when we're done with this, or even where we are, you can browse it. Blood is thicker than water. Do you know what that means? The blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb. Let me go again. Blood is thicker than water. The blood of covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Covenant is your tribe, the people you choose to parole with. Abi? I think covenant comes with consent. you own yourself until you decide to covenant yourself. Okay. If we journey through people who have gone through covenants, committed themselves to different things or different, whether positive or negative, sometimes you see them begin to behave differently from people that are their family members. They obey whatever the covenant says because covenant is binding. Okay, just because this family has written na so it go be, no be say na so it go be. Don't let nobody put you under pressure. Okay, another reason people go under pressure is the need to belong. Want to belong. You see that need to belong. The truth is that marriage is a personal journey, not a societal performance. So there's no need to belong. All my friends are married, I'm still the one single. Congratulations to your friends. But with clear eye, choose your tribe. And that tribe is still the person you marry. Because together you are going to create your own kingdom, right? With clear eye, do not rush. Do not be cajoled into marriage. Do not let anybody preach you what is not what we are supposed to be. Okay? And then the fear of missing out. What if I don't ever get married? I think I should grab it now or never. Some persons grabbed rubbish. They will not tell you that they are regretting that decision because they want you to enter trap too, so they will not be there alone. Human mind is very wicked. No it and no peace. Okay? Human mind is wicked. Some of the people that had that fear of missing out, what if I don't? They said once you're at 25, you don't marry again. If you get to that, you don't marry again. If you get to, especially with women, fear of missing out. And you end up settling for less. And then when you finish settling, you feel like running out. There's this marriage counselor that once said, he said, it is better to be single, wishing that one day you be married, than to be married, praying to be single. You see, that one is more difficult. And then civil wedding made it more difficult. See, you see the way you carry your two wonderful legs, in short, with your partner. You guys 4 legs, and entered the marriage registry and did your marriage record. So easy. It is when you are going through divorce process, you know it's more difficult to come outside. It's not easy to come out. You see that fast they joined you. They asked you, did you do? You said you did. Okay. Try and say you want to divorce and see if it will be easy for you to come out. So it is better you're single, believing to be married, than you're married, praying to run out. It's not easy to run out. It's not easy to come out. So forget the fear of missing out. See, you that's looking at me, if you're still not married, you will be married and you will marry the fine husband or wife and you enjoy your marriage. And then some other reason is financial security. Some persons have seen marriage as an avenue to elevate poverty. You understand what I mean? And some of them end up marrying the weapon formed against them. Some people have married the weapon formed against them because, you get money, more good there. No, this is not actually gender-based, because these days we see guys marrying ladies because of their money. Ladies marrying guys, so it's no longer ladies doing it alone. Guys are doing it also. So what I'm saying is, nobody should be your financial plan. Okay? I once made a quote. I said, be that CEO your parents want you to marry or you wish to marry, and then with your head, with the accurate value system, choose the spouse you want. Be that CEO. You want to marry someone who has money. What stops you from having the money? Build a life of your own. It will make you make choices. Another thing, if you have money, you may not be the richest, but substantive amount of money is in your hand. Let me tell you one thing that happens. It will give you the power of choices. If you have money in your hand, it will give you the power of choices. You won't just settle for anything that just comes. That's not true. poverty should not be the reason why you're running into marriage. There are some persons that their parents were the ones that gave them out because they wanted the tie to that family so that they're owing a lot of people. And once this marriage happens now, the family will not have debt to pay. That's wickedness. This is where positive rebellion comes in. Do not agree to that. You should not be the yardstick to cover the poverty line. No, you're not going to enjoy that marriage. You're going to endure a lot of things. Okay, this I'm saying now is something I have seen happen. Okay, all right. There are other crucial topics here. Let me just quickly address them. How do I love the man I want? Okay, loving the man you want, loving the man that wants you. Have you ever been in a situation where someone love bombs you a lot? Someone love bombs you. You know that you don't like this person, but the person has really, given you a lot, invested a lot, and you too, you have taken a lot. And so it's on choke hold. It seems you can't take yourself away from it. I would say if you don't intend to be here, do not take from it. If you don't intend to drink from this stream, why are you fetching from it? If you have someone in your life that you know that what you have for this person is not as complete, is not as wholesome, do you understand? Withdraw from it. Why tie yourself up? Do not force love, and don't let love be forced on you. Love people for the right reasons. I'm a preacher of love, yeah, but love people for the right reasons. You see, the need to get married quick, so many woes come with it. And they're unfathomable. There are a lot of them. A lot of people, just like I said, I'm addressing women this night. A lot of women are going through a lot. A lot is going through them. Some have successfully run out. Some cannot. Some want to. And painfully, some are dead. Now that you have a choice not to find yourself in that situation, why not engage the gray matter in between your ears? I think at this point, I would say that whatever you are being pressured to have, or whatever pressure you're giving yourself, be ready for it. I have some practical questions for you, okay, that will set you straight. Do you get? I have some practical questions for you. I said marriage is a personal journey, not a societal performance. Okay? The big question is, that thing you're praying for, that thing you're wishing for, if it's before you now, would you recognize it? Sometimes what you are even asking for, you're not ready for it. I want to get married. I want to get married. I have a question for you. How ready are you for things that you crave for? Example, marriage comes with motherhood. Are you ready for pregnancy? If you're ready, is your body ready? Are you ready for pregnancy? And you don't know pregnancy takes a toll on you as a woman? A lot. A lot. Are you ready for it? Do you even know how to glide through that pregnancy journey gracefully? Do you know what to do when nobody is there? What do you know about newborns? What do you know? When your baby is born, your pregnancy journey week by week. Let me give you an instance. I used to know this lady painfully. I was angry when I heard her story. How can you be pregnant and you don't know how many weeks gone? Like, you don't know your due date. Gets me clearly. That time you're pregnant and then you found out that maybe you missed your period or not, but then you're pregnant. What do you do next? Is it not for you to find out how many weeks gone, your EDD and all that? This woman didn't know when she was going to give birth. And then she got to the hospital, a private hospital. I'm sorry, I'm not shedding any doctor, but we know that wherever good abounds, evil is still there too. The man, you know, when you go through CS, money big. The money belongs sometimes. And it's a private hospital. So the man told her that she's ready. And she agreed. The husband signed. They entered theater and operated her and found out that the baby still had some weeks to go. Premature baby. So they had to put the baby in incubator. The hospital is making money as far as that baby is in the incubator, right? And then you hear her talk, and I'm angry. How? You don't count, you don't know how long gone you are. Who does that? I'm just saying. Most people, what they're preparing for is that they wear gown and suit. Every other thing that comes, they're not prepared. Marriage is not a day. It's wedding that is for a day. Marriage starts when the wedding ends. So I ask again, what do you know about newborns? What do you know about pregnancy? Do you know what the changes your body goes through? How do you adjust to this new life? Do you even know, what do you know about the male temperament as a woman that wants to get married? What do you know? How emotionally prepared are you? No one is praying for bad things, but if you find yourself alone in this journey, what will your emotional and mental response be? Nobody is praying for anything bad. But I've seen people that just got married and the lady is pregnant and the man dies. Or he says he's not doing it again, you're pregnant. What will be your emotional and mental response? Are you ready? Forget the pressure, prepare. See, he who goes to the battlefield to learn how to shoot a gun is already dead. You prepare before you get there. Are you even ready? Forget whoever is telling you at your age that that's not what you should be doing. You should prepare. How emotionally ready are you? What is your mental response to situations? Will you run mad and begin to break things? And then maybe finally begin to walk around in the streets naked? What do you know about children? What do you know about toddlers? Because one thing is, as you're clapping for that miracle, God, that bundle of joy, as you're clapping for that bundle of joy, it comes a time when that bundle of joy will give you restless. The bundle of joy will disturb you. Okay? Do you know what they call postpartum depression? Do you know how to wriggle yourself out of it? Do you know the right places to seek help when you need them? A lot. Do you know how children learn? Can you patiently teach children? How do they start learning? Do you know that at 18 weeks, your baby is already hearing you? I mean, inside your tummy. They begin to hear you from the womb. Do you know that? Do you know how not to pass down negative emotions to your baby? Do you know that? Okay. If you're kind of a parent that doesn't like to be questioned, this generation will ask you a lot of questions. What will you do? I hope I'm not talking to myself. If you're there, please say something. Let me see that you're still there. Do you know when you should start teaching a child? Do you know what morals do you have that you want to inculcate in your baby? Are you prepared? That's just what I'm asking you. Do you understand hormonal changes? How about menopause? Or you think it's too early to talk about it? Some people go through early menopause. You'll be thinking, okay, they said when women are up to this age. And bang, it hits you when you're not ready. Do you know what happens to women when they hit menopause? Do you know what happens to their bodies? To their bones? Some persons begin to experience that porosity of bones. What do you do? Do you also understand that in parenting, every child is different? What books have you read about parent? Do you understand that? Let's keep aside this men has come theory that we have in our head. You need to, as a woman, you need to understand the male temperament. And if you understand the male temperament, it will help you to understand the man you want to marry. At this point, I think I'm ready for you to fire me with your questions. I hope I didn't bore you. Okay? I'm ready for your questions. And I hope I didn't bore you with this session. If you got something, please let me see. You can drop what you got so that other people can also learn from it. So I was just speaking. Maybe there's some things you got from what I said. You can just put it in the comment section. Okay, Emmanuel, I can see yours. He who goes to the battlefield to learn how to shoot is already dead. Yeah. Because when you're still learning how to put the cartridge and how to refill, they really take you out. Your case is closed. Okay? So who has a question? Let me see your wave. Give me a wiper if you have a question. Are we still there? I think one of these sessions I'm going to maybe I'll keep coming online. Sometimes it will be announced, sometimes it will not be announced. Sometimes I'll just pull up some live sessions so you can join when you see it. I want to talk about there's something I saw that I think we should talk about. It has to do with parenting, but then it has to do with how to handle the child who bedwets. If you have seen a child who bedwets or you did bedwet, you know what I'm talking about. How the society shames them, the family too don't help. How to support a child who bedwets. What causes bedwetting? Is it the child's fault? And all what's not. Thank you, Roslyn. Thank you so much. I'm waiting for your questions. Yeah. God first. Forget the marital pressure and prepare. True. You need a lot of preparation. A lot. A lot. You will never be over prepared for marriage. You will never be over prepared, but you can be under prepared. I think in this aspect, overeating is allowed. Just keep learning. But make sure you're learning from the right source. There are people who are with quack knowledge about marriage. They're everywhere. Both the ones that wrote it in the book, those that are online, make sure before you commit, you audit. Make sure before you commit to learning from that person, you audit what that person is teaching you. Okay? Do not take everything hook, line, and sinker. Even the ones I'm teaching you now. Audit what I'm saying, whether it even makes sense. Okay, how can parents, that's coming from Uche. All right, that's a good question. How can parents or guardians support girls during the stage of puberty without making them feel ashamed? I don't think there's anything to be ashamed of during puberty, except as a parent that is not learned. I think at that point, it is the period that you should bring your child closer to you more. Okay? It is sorry if you're hearing a dog bark. Look, I apologize in the beginning. I have a dog. I'm sorry. Please. Okay. As I was saying, This stage of puberty, how parents should support their girls. First of all, support them by telling them what puberty is. Sex education, very important. First, before you even get to sex education, teach them their body parts, teach them what privacy is. And then sex education, very important. Teach them what puberty is. Call it what it is. You see that point when you tell a girl, once a man sees your pants, you're pregnant. You've not said anything. And the generation we're in will ask you questions. When the man sees the pants and nothing happens, she will go for the cookie. She'll go for the real deal. So parents should support their daughters during puberty by telling them what puberty is. Tell them you went through it. Have you noticed that once you can relate to something, the person listens to you more? Tell them you went through it too. Tell them how you went through it. If you didn't get support from your parents, I think this generation should be an improvement of the past generation. Do you get? If they didn't give you the support you needed, give the support. How do you give the support? Go and read. Know what you should do. Okay? So apart from relating with them, tell them. During puberty, you begin to grow breasts as a good lady. That your body that looks shapeless begin to get curvy. Okay? Your waist is beginning to expand. There may be pimples. The sebaceous gland on your face begin to produce more oil, and that's why you have pimples. During puberty, they should teach them to bathe often because that's when the hormones in your body are giving out more discharge and you begin to smell. And I don't think there's anything that should make a girl ashamed more than someone telling you you stink. Okay? So a parent should teach the child those stuffs. Teach them how to pad themselves. Teach them that seeing menstrual flow is normal. If you don't support your daughter during puberty, I don't think that child will trust you when they figure out things themselves. Nah. So how should they support? They support by teaching and by showing examples. Maybe, let me give you an instance. What I mean by showing example is you are teaching the child during puberty you should bath, but you, the parents, you know they bath. That teaching will not work because kids, children will not learn what you say. They do what you do. They don't do what you say. They do what you do. Okay? So that's that. I hope I did justice to that. If there is something remaining, please call my attention to it. I'm waiting for your questions. Or did you understand everything I said? Right, yeah, by teaching and showing examples. And aside from teaching and showing examples, be there for them. There are thoughts, sometimes the emotions are running wild and they're crying. Be there. The hugs and all that will help. Talk to them, calm them down. Yeah, I'm listening, please. Uche, I'm listening. Okay. Uche, I'm listening. Anybody still there? Okay. As a parent, how do you talk to your daughter who's already in a relationship during puberty in a way that keeps communication open and doesn't push her away? In a relationship during puberty, isn't that not early? Okay, that happens, but I think it's early because at that point the girl has not really understood. Her body is still going through a lot. They added relationship to it and had to please one boy somewhere. That's a lot. But okay, as a parent, how do you talk to a daughter who is already in a relationship during puberty in a way that keeps communication open and doesn't push away? How you handle what you were told will determine whether you were told another. What I mean is this. If your daughter comes to you and tells you something she did wrong and you're all about and yelling, you won't hear another one. And puberty is such a sensitive period, both for the male and female, but I'm focusing on the female aspects from the question. Okay? They're going through a lot of bodily changes and emotional imbalances. Okay? So, as a mother, make them trust you, that they can tell you the mistake they've made. If your daughter comes to you and told you she had sex, I don't think the thing you should do at that point is to start yelling and shouting and cussing at her. She won't tell you more. I think what the mother should do at that point is to support and love. Speak to them like you understand. Okay? Let them encourage them to bring that boy home. You need to know who your daughter is dating. Okay? You need to know who your daughter is in a relationship with. Encourage her to bring that boy home. And also tell her to seek advice from you if she needs one. Show that love and don't pretend about it, because children will know. Children grow up to figure things out. They will know that you are lying. Okay? So make her your friend. I think when in parenting, when your children are getting to teenage age, you move from being an instructor to a coach. Do you understand? You become a coach. Sometimes you let them make their mistakes, but then don't let them make mistakes that will ruin them. That's where teaching comes in, and that's where you support. Encourage them to bring that boy home. Meet that boy and ask him his intentions for your daughter. And don't do it embarrassing. Do not embarrass your child. Whether at home or in front of strangers, do not do that. They'll begin to shy away from you. Yeah, Emmanuel just said it. Well, if you ask me, I don't think a girl going through puberty should be in a relationship. Exactly. What are you doing in a relationship? I don't think that timing is right. But if at all it's happening, you need to know that boy. And if at all you could discourage that relationship in love and care, with understanding, explain why it is not right for them to be in a relationship at that point in time. If you can lovingly discourage that relationship, please do. A girl who is going through puberty shouldn't be in a relationship. That's an error. Okay? So, Uche, did I answer your question? Follow it lovingly. Do not embarrass them. Coach. Do not order around. At that point, teenagers are rebellious, and we know. We all went through that. Yeah, just like God first said, that's the generation we're in. True. Puberty, even before they even know what they're doing in classes. Before they could define life, relationship, even before they could define life or understand what it is about life, you're already with a man. Doing what? And that's where your priorities begin to derail, because you're where you're not supposed to be. And then tomorrow he's telling you to show me that you love me. Like, can I have sex with you? And then at 13, at 14, the child is pregnant. And then if you tamper with that pregnancy, it will affect them the whole of their lives. They don't say it, but it's true. And then if you don't tamper with the pregnancy and they carry it to full term, how can a child become a mother? A child cannot mother a child. So it's all shade of wrong. Every shade of wrong. Do not encourage your daughter to be in relationship during puberty. Thank you, Emmanuel, for that. Please, do not. Which I hope I did justice to that. Yeah, even our sons, they don't have a business being in a relationship during puberty. What's the time now? Okay. This session we end at exactly 2 hours. Okay. It will end at exactly 2 hours. Or if we are done, we can go. If there are no more questions, we can call it a night. If there are no more questions, we can call it a night. Ibobe, you are welcome. Okay, a short one. While we wait for the questions or before we call it a night. How often do you want us to do this? How often should we come live again? How often should we come live? I'm waiting for your answers. I'm waiting for your answers. Okay, I think we will call it a night here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to be your host. See you next time. It will be communicated and the details will be shared. Have a good night. Okay, Rosalind, I think on Sundays. Okay. All right. We will process that and we will get back to everybody. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Sundays. 2 people are saying Sundays. Okay. Precious said Sundays. Rose said Sundays. Ibube said Sundays. All right. Then Sundays it is. Okay. Thank you for this night. Uche said Sunday. Okay. Thank you for this night and see you next time. Have a good night.